What's up, hello, my name is Emma, and today I'm giving you guys my September book haul. In the month of September, I bought/received 14 or 15 books. I may have miscounted, and I'm really excited to show them to you guys. The first book I bought in the month of September is Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs. This is a companion-like novel to the Miss Peregrine series by Ransom Riggs. I'm not entirely sure how many of you guys have read the series. I have currently read it to Hollow City, and I'm just waiting to get ready for Library of Souls, but Tales of the Peculiar is a bunch of different stories of fairy tales for the peculiar children, so it's just a book of fairy tales, and it just has the most wonderful and Miss Peregrine's-like cover in the entire world. Books of Wonder, aka my fave bookstore in New York City, had a Loop Day event where we all went into the city and there were goodies, there was a photo booth, we got books, and the books are signed. And so on Loop Day we went in and we took part in the festivities and we talked about books, and it was honestly a really wonderful, chill book day. It was nice to go into the city with book friends and not necessarily go to a signing, but just hang out in a bookstore. It was really fun. While I haven't read Tales of the Peculiar yet, I am definitely looking forward to now that I am further into the Miss Peregrine series, and I'm totally interested to see what I think. The next book I was sent in the month of September is The Muse by Jessie Burton. I was sent this book as a part of my Muse monthly unboxing I did in September, and if you'd like to check that out, I will leave the link to that unboxing in the description of this video. Muse monthly sends out The Muse! How clever is that? Someone pointed that out on the video, and I was like, wow, I'm so mad I missed that opportunity to see that in the video. The Muse is a book I hadn't heard of before, and it's definitely not something I normally read. It's totally out of my comfort zone, but it's still something I would really like to experience. The Muse follows two women who are part of two separate eras, so not only is it dual perspective, it's dual timeline. The first takes place in London in 1967, where a Caribbean immigrant is working in a London art gallery, and they come upon this painting that they believe to be the work of a long dead, very famous young artist. The second perspective takes place in Spain, 1936, where the daughter of a Viennese Jewish art dealer moves with her family to a more impoverished village. The second perspective is a little bit harder to summarize, but essentially the daughter grows very close to the housekeeper's children, and the daughter is trying to conceal her art talents, and the housekeeper's children get involved, and that whole art thing kind of comes up decades later, possibly England 1967. So it's all about how those first events in Spain impact the later events in England, and I'm just really excited to read this book because it's not something I've ever read before. I like that I'm going to be getting a little taste of some diverse characters and settings, especially because Muse Monthly is all about those diverse authors. The great thing about subscription services is I feel like if I saw the Muse in a bookstore, I probably wouldn't have even given it a second glance to read the synopsis, but now that I've sat with it and looked at it and kind of understood what it's all about, it's totally something I would be interested in reading, even though it's not the norm for me. So I'm definitely very excited to get around to reading The Muse. The next book I was sent by Allie from The Little Librarian. I will link her channel down below if you'd like to check her out, but she sent me Shay's Story from Scott Westerfeld's Ugly series. Now, I have talked about the Uglies in like every single book haul since like April. I have not read Uglies yet, but I am so looking forward to it. It is super high up on my TBR, and one of the next official series I start is probably going to be Uglies. But Allie and a couple other people like Cassie from Miss Sassy Cassie, Sierra from Sierra Reads, and Chelsea from Chelsea Martin, they had a month-long read-along for the Ugly series, and they had a live show, and I attended the first few minutes of a live show just to support them, and they were holding a giveaway for this book, and I just happened to win. So thanks so much, Allie, for sending me this book. This is a graphic novel that is told from the perspective of the main characters of Ugly's best friend. So while I definitely want to read Uglies first, I do have the whole series, and now I have this awesome companion novel thanks to Allie, and I'm super appreciative of it, and I cannot wait to get around to reading Uglies. The next book I have for my September book haul is also from a subscription service called Paper Street Books and Comics, and that is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. If you want to see that unboxing, I will link it in the description below. So last month when I hauled The Merciless by Danielle Vega, I had expressed to you my interest in demonology and exorcisms that I had a couple of years ago, and let's be honest, still today. So I was really excited when I got the opportunity to get another book about an exorcism. Also, the author of My Best Friend's Exorcism also wrote Horror Store, which is another book I have that I have been dying to read for like 2.5 years now. I just have not gotten around to it, but I know that Horror Store is really loved, so this is another one if you are a fan of Grady Hendrix. So My Best Friend's Exorcism takes place in 1988, where two best friends go skinny dipping, and after that things start to go wrong and one of them starts to act very different, and through the other best friend's investigation, she discovers that there might be something going on there. And as we can all guess, I'm sure an exorcism comes from that discovery. Now, while I've watched a ton of documentaries, read a lot of articles, and watched a lot of fictional movies on exorcisms, I never read a fictional YA novel about it, so I'm really interested to get that perspective, and I'm super excited to read this one. The next book I received in the month of September was sent to me by Epic Reads, so thank you so much, Epic Reads, for sending me a Replica by Lauren Oliver. Is that I knew it was going to be upside down. Replica by Lauren Oliver. As you can tell by my inability to see where the right side up of this book is, it is called a flip book. Essentially, there are a couple of different ways you can read the book. You can read Gemma's perspective all the way through. When you get halfway through, flip it over to read Lyra's perspective, or you could read Lyra first and then read Gemma, or you can read it in alternating chapters and they kind of go along with each other, so the story is very cohesive. So the overarching theme of this story is that Gemma has grown up as a very sick child, and one day she is abducted by the stranger who claims to know her and actually tells her that her father is connected to this mysterious laboratory called the Haven Institute, where a lot of things are going on that nobody knows other than the people involved. And so Gemma, on a leap of faith, goes to Florida to figure out more about how her father is involved in all of this when she meets a girl named Lyra. I know everyone's gonna correct me and be like, her name's Lyra, but Lyra is the word for an aerial hoop, where you do like hoop it in the sky, and I like that better, so we're gonna call her Lyra. So Lyra is what we know as a replica, otherwise known as a human model, or what is probably better known to us as clones. An attack on the Haven Institute allows Lyra to escape when she comes in contact with Gemma, and it's kind of all about these girls piecing their stories together and how they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. The next book I have to show you guys is The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. First off, the main character of this book's name is Nemesis, which is just super badass. So Nemesis is a diabolic, which means she is a being that was created in order to kill anyone who threatens the person they have been assigned to. So basically, the person that Nemesis is created to protect is named Sidonia, who is the heir to the Galactic Senate, and she is taken hostage, and the only way for Nemesis to protect her is to become her. And I really like this closing line of the synopsis, so I want to read it to you. It says, "Now one of the galaxy's most dangerous weapons is masquerading amidst politicians and two-faced senators' children, and Nemesis must find within herself the one thing she's been told she doesn't have: humanity." And so I think this is going to be a really interesting book. I like how it's towing on the idea of machine versus humanity, because in the technological age, this is something that a lot of people are talking about. The next 3 books on this haul I was sent by Penguin Random House in a super awesome mailer that they sent out. So thank you so much, Penguin, for sending me these books. Penguin was kind enough to send me the entire Young Elite series by Marie Lu, The Young Elites, The Rose Society, and finally an advanced reader copy of The Midnight Star, the final book in this trilogy. The Young Elites is a series that I've been wanting to start for so long. I was a huge fan of Marie Lu's Legend trilogy, and so as soon as she was coming out with a new one, I was so excited for it, but it was just one of those books I never got around to. Although I know it is a super loved series and so many people rave about it. For those of you who don't know, The Young Elites follows this world where there has been a plague, and those who haven't been claimed by the plague develop these special powers. And the people left over with these powers are part of this group called the Young Elites. And so we also have these 2 contrasting groups. We have the Inquisition Axis, which aims to destroy the Young Elites, and then we have the Dagger Society, who wants to find the Young Elites before the Inquisition Axis can. And it's all about this one girl who is very powerful, but she wants to just be left alone by everyone and to live her life in peace. And so I have heard that there was a heavy influence of Les Mis on this book. I have not read, watched, or listened to Les Mis yet. I'm really behind on everything, but I know that that is another really beloved work, and so I'm just really interested to see how Marie Lu's writing style comes into play with that. And it's a book that I've been wanting to read for so long, and now that I have the full series as a set, I am definitely more motivated to pick it up. Next on my list is another book that was sent to me by the lovely Owl Crate. As you know, I'm an Owl Crate rep, so every month I get to do an unboxing for you guys. I'm sure you're no stranger to those videos. So the September theme for Owl Crate was darkness, and the book they decided to put in there is 3 Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. This is a super highly anticipated book of mine. I am really excited to read it. It is all about these 3 sisters when on the night of their 16th birthday they start competing for the crown. And so one of these sisters is able to control fire, one of them is able to ingest poisons without as much as a stomachache, and the other one has this sort of control over nature. And so if I'm correct because nobody said anything in the unboxing when I said this. I believe one or two of the sisters don't actually have powers, or their powers aren't really what they seem, and it's just the fire sister who is really, really powerful. I don't know if that's right. But if you give me a fantasy with awesome female leads, you know I'm gonna read it. So Three Dark Crowns is a book I am super looking forward to reading. I think the dynamic of these sisters is going to be great. I have really high hopes for the world that is created for Three Dark Crowns, and I'm just super, super excited. I've heard really, really great things, and I'm just hoping that it will hold up to the expectations I have for it. Then my last 4 books I bought in all one day, which is not something I have been doing lately. I went into the city for a book signing, and when I was there, I got some books for a really, really great deal. And I'm really excited to share them with you guys. So the first book I have to share with you guys is Gone Girl by, I don't know if it's Jillian or Gillian. I'm pretty sure it's Jillian, but I'm not totally sure. I know everyone who is watching has heard of Gone Girl, and this is a book I have been wanting to read for the longest time. Psychological thrillers have always been a super interesting genre to me, and I only read my first one back in July with Night Film, and it just blew me off my truck, and all I can think about is how I want to read all of these psychological thrillers, and I just need to find the time to do so. But I'm sure most of you have heard of Gone Girl. It is all about this man whose wife disappears, and through the investigation that is very, very public, he happens to be a suspect, and I hear there is this big twist ending. Got a movie adaptation. It literally took the world by storm, and I am really, really excited to read it. It just sounds like something I'm really, really going to enjoy, so I am super excited to read the book and then watch the movie afterwards and let you guys know what I think. The next book I have to share with you guys is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Another big movie that's coming out. I am sure you have seen the trailers. So this story is about a woman named Rachel who takes the same commuter train every morning, and when her train stops at a specific point in the track, she's able to watch these couple who have breakfast together every morning. And because she's been doing this for so long, she really feels like she's gotten to know them, and she thinks that they have this perfect, wonderful, love-filled life. Until one day, at the very last second before the train starts moving, she sees something that totally changes the game. And so she goes to the police, and she's just thrust into this investigation of these people's lives that she really didn't even know to begin with. So this just sounds like another book that is super thrilling, and I love, love, love mystery novels, so I am really, really excited to read this one. And the next book on that mini strand haul is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. All the psychological thrillers, man! But also, has anyone noticed that with all of these very popular, like, mystery thriller novels, they all have to do with some kind of woman or girl, like The Woman in Cabin 10, The Girl on the Train, Gone Girl. There's another one I want to read that's like The Girl in 6E, and there's another one called The Girl with the Red Coat, and just for whatever reason all the titles have something to do with the female gender in the beginning. I have no idea why, but I've just noticed it, and those are all books I want to read too. So this story follows a journalist named Lo who has the opportunity to go on a week-long cruise as part of one of her writing assignments. So Lo's week starts off wonderfully. She meets a lot of elegant people, she attends all of these dinner parties, but across the week the weather turns nasty, the skies are gray, and the waves are tougher, and the wind is strong, and one night she hears what she can only believe to be a woman being thrown overboard. The problem is that Lo tries to report it, but everyone on the ship is accounted for, so it just sounds like a super interesting story. I have no idea what kind of direction this book could go in, and that's really exciting for me as a reader. Lately my mind has just been plagued with all of these thoughts of these amazing adult psychological thriller mysteries that I want to read, and there's so many out there, and I just have to find time to read them. But I am really, really excited for all of these. I feel like I'm taking a step forward in my reading, which I am really, really excited to do. Obviously YA has a very, very special place in my heart, but this is just something that is really, really attractive to me at the moment, and I'm really excited to get started on these 3 novels. And the final book I have in this haul is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. The signing I went to that day when I bought all those books for half price was the Leigh Bardugo Crooked Kingdom launch party, and so I got to meet Leigh and talk to her for a bit, and she's just as wonderful as you would expect her to be. The event was just so, so great. I have no idea why I didn't vlog it. It was the same day as the Miss Peregrine's event, so I think it was just a very long day, and I didn't want to start vlogging in the middle of the day. But it was honestly a super, super fun event, and I'm so happy I went. I feel like I don't talk about Six of Crows enough on my channel, but I recently listened to the audiobook at the beginning of this year, and I loved it with every fiber of my being. It was so fantastic. There were just so many amazing things about this book, and so as soon as Crooked Kingdom was coming out, I had to get my hands on it. I feel like I'm loving it more than Six of Crows, which I know is not the case for a lot of people that have read Crooked Kingdom, but I do account for the fact that I listened to Six of Crows as an audiobook, and this one I'm just fully immersed into reading it, which might have an impact, but I just absolutely am loving Crooked Kingdom so far. If you haven't read Six of Crows, What are you doing? It's so good, such great representation, such an amazing story and beautiful writing and just everything you want in a fantasy novel ever. Six of Crows has it. It's such a good series and I'm so sad that it's coming to an end so quickly, but I am super excited to make my way through Cookie Kingdom and I just cannot wait to tell you what I think when I finish it. Alrighty, well that is it for my September book haul. I have a ton of really awesome books that I bought and received this month. Let me know in the comments of this video what was your favorite book that you bought or received in the month of September because I would love to know. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you soon for a new video. Bye!